gentlemen, the future delegates, how do you do? Both organizations will remark on important anniversaries for this year, while the European Union and ASEAN, in this case, ASEAN will learn from European Union to not feel as an elitist. ASEAN will do anniversary for the 15 years, while the European Union is celebrating its 16th anniversary. The European Union, now withstanding the decisions by the United Kingdom to leave the Union, and is often referred to as the most successful regional integrations and organization in the world. ASEAN, in this case, is often referred to as the second most successful regional organization. So the future delegates, let's compare and contrast the differences and similarities between ASEAN and the European Union. And this video will begin by explaining the similarities of ASEAN versus European Union.
The first similarity is that both are the regional organizations with legal personalities. The EU has 28 members and will have 27 in March 2019. ASEAN has 10 members with Timor-Leste knocking on the door.
The second similarity is that both were founded to promote peace. The EU was founded after two disaster world wars to prevent the recurrence of war in Europe and to institutionalize peace through economic integration through the 6 times of enlargement. ASEAN was founded to create a peaceful environment in Southeast Asia so that the ASEAN countries could focus their energies on their economic development. The third similarity is that both seek to integrate the economies of their member states into a single market and production platform. In the case of the EU, there is freedom of movement of goods, service, capital, and labor. But in the case of ASEAN, the movement of labor is not free. The ASEAN Charter obliges the member states only to facilitate the movement of business persons, professionals, talents, and labor. This is a major difference between ASEAN and the EU. The fourth similarity is that both organizations share a commitment to human rights. The EU has a Charter of Fundamental Rights and ASEAN has a Declaration of Human Rights. The ASEAN Charter contains several provisions in its preamble, purpose, and principles on human rights. ASEAN has 2 commissions on human rights, the ASEAN Intergovernmental Commission on Human Rights and the Commission on the Rights of Women and Children. However, the EU has a European Court of Justice. ASEAN does not have a court. The fifth similarity is that both ASEAN and the EU have concluded many free trade agreements or comprehensive economic partnership agreements with other countries. For example, the EU and Singapore have concluded a free trade agreement which is pending ratification. ASEAN has concluded such agreements with China, Japan, South Korea, India, Australia, and New Zealand, but not with the EU.
The sixth similarity is that both ASEAN and the EU hold regular political and economic dialogues with important external partners. The EU holds annual summits with, among others, such as the United States, China, Japan, and Russia. How's with ASEAN, fellas?
Well, ASEAN has created 3 forums to engage its external partners, namely the ASEAN Regional Forum, ASEAN Plus 3, and the East Asia Summit. In addition, ASEAN holds bilateral dialogues with its 10 dialogue partners. Finally, ASEAN holds an annual summit with the US, China, India, Japan, and South Korea.
Well, in the different side, there are 5 important differences between ASEAN and the EU. Well, the first difference is that ASEAN is an intergovernmental organization and EU is a supranational organization which is member states have agreed in certain areas such as trade to pool their sovereignties.
Afterwards is that the EU has a common currency called the euro. Only 90 of the EU's 28 members are members of the Eurozone. ASEAN does not have a common currency and has no plans to have one. However, in the aftermath of the 1997 ASEAN financial crisis, ASEAN, together with China, Japan, and South Korea, launched the so-called Chiang Mai Initiative. The project brings together the 30 finance ministers and central bank governors. Their agenda is to promote greater financial cooperation among the 30 countries. The third difference is that the EU has a parliament and ASEAN does not. The European Parliament has the power to legislate, as well as the power to veto budgets and appointments. ASEAN has the ASEAN Interparliamentary Assembly, which has only the power of a moral suasion. The fourth difference is that the EU has a very powerful secretariat called the European Commission, and ASEAN has a relatively small and weak secretariat. The European Commission acts like a government, and it's entitled to enter into treaties. The Commission has the power to put forward proposals for legislation. The ASEAN Charter has enhanced the power of the Secretary General. One of his most important responsibilities is to issue an annual report card on each member state's compliance with its obligation. The fifth difference is the decision-making process. ASEAN takes all its decisions by consensus. The EU can decide by taking votes. There is a system of weighted voting, with different countries being given different number of votes. However, in the area of common foreign and security policy, decisions are based on anonymity. In ASEAN case, there is an exception to the consensus rule. Economic agreement can be adopted by a majority using the ASEAN minus X formula. The logic is that the majority can proceed first and the minority will catch up later.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to express my confidence towards the European Union as the conclusion of this video. Well, without United Kingdom, I do believe that European Union is more stronger and more cohesive. Well, in the other hand, I do not believe that without UK, European Union or Euro will fall or weaker. Eventually, in global governance perspective, ASEAN and European Union are examples of the most successful regional integrations over the world. However, the character of their integrations diverges in the sense that as associations, ASEAN sees the relationships between the member states as equal, where the members are equal stand without non-interventions. While the European Union, as a union, emphasizes the importance of a central government above the nation-state level to the person and governed, the voice of all its member states. Therefore, the European Union can be described as overseeing regional integrations in supranational level, while ASEAN is an intergovernmental organization that is governed and managed collectively and equally by its member states. So, future delegates, this is the end of our video. I'm Satria.
I'm Modi.
And I'm Phoebe.
Don't forget to like,
Comment.
and subscribe.
Have a great day and stay positive.
Bye.
No.